to figure out, how do I get to where I'm going from now? Sometimes God got to say, take a time out. Because there are times when we can get too busy and miss God. When God wants us to hear. The Bible says that blind Bartimaeus was sitting on the road trying to make a decision. That he was begging for alms, that he was begging for help. And understand that you got to be, it's one thing to be in place, but it's another thing to be in position. And the Bible says that he heard a noise, they heard a ruckus. One thing I love about God is that whenever he shows up, there's going to be a commotion. Whenever he arrives on the scene, the enemy has to recognize who he is and understand that things are about to change. But we're living in a time now that our faith, we talk about faith, is going to be tried like never before. We're going to be put to the test. Look at somebody and tell them we're going to be put to the test. But we have to understand it's the word that strengthens us. It is the word that gives us indication to go through with what we need. Now you got to understand, hearing about God is good. But when you experience him, look at somebody and tell them, I need an experience. I need something where God is intervening. I need where he's going to come in and interrupt my plan, interrupt my ideas, interrupt where I'm going and get me back on the right track. Look at somebody and tell them my family is at stake right about now. My life, my survival, my outcoming, my overcoming is at stake right now. So blind Bartimaeus understood the process. You got to be careful about who you hang out with. Touch somebody and tell them, be careful who you hang out with. Because everybody that hangs out with you are not always for you. Yeah, you got to understand that even though they befriend you, but in their mindset, they are stabbing you in the back. So you got to learn how to love folks and love them from a distance and don't treat them any different than with a godly love. Because everybody don't want you to succeed. Everybody don't want you to come out. They hang with you to get what you got going in order to move them forward. Look at somebody and tell them, you got to get rid of some of your friends. Yeah, you got to get rid of some of your friends. You got to get out of the comfort zone. You got to, because if the enemy can relax you in the comfort zone, then he can steal everything. Oh, y'all ain't getting it. Everything that you have, every promise that you have. What I love about blind Bartimaeus, he decided that every day I'm determined to go out, get out of my comfort zone. I'm not going to let what I'm facing determine and distract me from going to do what I need to do. Because right now I need some help. But even in the process of physical blindness, he had a physical blindness. Now it doesn't really say how it happened. But if you read in the context, you understand that he could not see. The job of the enemy is to blind you. So that you don't know where you're going. But the thing that he misses, that in your blindness, you become more sensitive to spiritual things. Y'all ain't got to get it. When a person loses sight in his eyesight, then his ears become, become more sensitive to the spirit. Sometimes God had to allow us to be blind in order to get us to hear. Sometimes he had to blind our eyesight in order to get, so now we become more sensitive to the voice of God, because now we can see. So we depend on the voice to get us from where we are. Blind Bartimaeus decided, I'm not going to be deterred. He said, because sooner or later, what I need is going to come down the street. Tell somebody, tell them, stay on the street you are. Tell them, make sure you're on the right side. Yeah, because God has to send someone to a street called straight. Catch somebody and tell them to go down, that I got somebody waiting for you. What you got to understand, that wherever God sent you, he either got somebody waiting for you, or he got somebody that's going to meet you. The idea is you got to get there. Tell somebody where God sent me. I'm going to meet somebody, or he's going to allow somebody to meet me. He said, go down the street. I got somebody waiting on you that's going to take you to the next level. Look at somebody and tell them, you got to make sure that you're on the right street for your next lesson. Who had the blind Saul? Saul was blind. Blind Bartimaeus was blind. There was others that were blind. He had to blind Saul to get him to go to the straight street. He asked him, who art thou, Lord? Look at this. One thing about God, he's always going to recognize himself as who he is, because he said, I'll give my glory to no other. Look at somebody and tell them, sometimes it's good to be by yourself.